Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the city council meeting to order and begin with an invocation by Commissioner Henderson, followed by the pledge of allegiance, city manager, Ellis Mitchell. All right.
Thank you, Lord, for the great city of Benton Harbor and for each of the residents that reside therein. Thank you for allowing us to serve diligently in this community. And ask that you bless and look upon our meeting on tonight, and as we make decisions for the residents and what's best for the city, that you give us the right direction as we go about doing so. In Jesus' name I pray.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yield to the city clerk, Clerk Moore.
Commissioner Adams,
Present.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Present.
Commissioner Edwards,
Present.
Commissioner Henderson,
Present.
Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Isom,
President.
Commissioner Singleton,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats, Mayor Mohammed.
Present.
You have a quorum.
This brings us to approval of minutes, regular minutes, July 17,
Motion to approve.
2023. Closed session minutes, July 17, 2023. Special minutes, July 24, 2023. Motion is made by Commissioner Adams. Is there support?
Support.
It is supported by Commissioner Isom. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Adams,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yes.
Commissioner Edwards,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Brings us to approval of accounts payable listing. Is there a motion for the approval? Motion is made by Commissioner Henderson. Is there support?
Support.
It is supported by Commissioner Edwards. Is there discussion?
I have questions.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Adams.
7/12/23. Credit card, Fifth Third. Dollar Ride repairs, $548.97. And I guess I have a question because there was $145 for washing our trash truck. I mean, I know they have to be washed, but we don't own a power wash. I mean,
I don't think we have a
we need,
car wash depot.
okay, well, that's a good question because while we're working on infrastructure issues, we should be fixing that problem at our public works department to ensure that the water flow can handle what goes down the drain from washing of our trash trucks. But I mean, one truck, $145? How often is it?
That's the first I've seen of that charge. We will look into it, manage and have that reported. And just a reminder to the council, Ms. Hildebrand does still come from 6:30 to 7 to answer detailed questions.
I'm aware of that, but the public wants to know and hear these questions and answers about the city's finances. And per city charter, just like the Quran and the Holy Bible, there's a roadmap. We have a city charter that's the same.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Adams,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yeah.
Commissioner Edwards,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to citizens' comments or public participation. 3-minute maximum per speaker. Please sign in. Clerk, she will call you based on the sign in.
Bruce Buckeright.
Good evening. Bruce Buckray, Grand Rapids. This year marks the 100th anniversary of the Crystal Springs Church of God on Pipestone, founded by my great uncle Walter Buckray. The church was originally on Superior Street, just a few yards from my grandparents' home. The Buckerites have history here, and I am part of that history, being born here in 1959. And even though I no longer live here, I still care about the city of Benton Harbor. For over a year and a half, I have attended the meetings of the cemetery board, various committees, and these commission meetings. I have listened and observed. I have asked questions and offered comments. I have provided photographs to support my complaints. I have spoken one-on-one with several of you regarding my concerns. I have also been told I'm wrong and there are things I don't know. There are times when some politicians take their constituents for granted. There are other times when politicians assume the public isn't listening or paying attention. In fact, they are counting on that. For many months now, I've been paying attention. I've read the city charter and the ordinances. I've gone back through the minutes of these meetings. Because I'm an engaged citizen, I still have questions. These questions include obligations and responsibilities identified in the charter and ordinances that are enacted. Questions about contracts, performance oversight, contractor invoices, and accounts payable. Each of you is charged with certain responsibilities to your constituents and to hold each other accountable. You as a commission have a greater power in the operations of the city than you exhibit, and I'm left wondering why you seem afraid to exercise those powers. My list of questions is long. I am concerned for the city of Benton Harbor. So to that end, and before I make ignorant allegations of any wrongdoing, I am in communication with the State of Michigan Department of Treasury and the Office of the Attorney General to learn more about the process. I have requested and received all the orders and directives issued by the State of Michigan emergency managers. I want answers that will hopefully prove me wrong, or that the charges of charter and ordinance violations are warranted. As I've stated numerous times, I am on your side, and I'm pulling for your success. When you succeed, the people sitting behind me succeed as well. Thank you.
Marcia Buckray.
Marcia Buckray, Grand Rapids, Michigan. First, I'd like to express our compliments to Mr. Jack Campbell and his hardworking crew and the greatly improved conditions at its Crystal Springs Cemetery, and to the city for getting those roads started. We've been noticing that there's been a lot of work on the roads improvements, and we hope we see a lot more improvements at Morton Cemetery. I've accompanied my husband Bruce numerous times to check on the graves of his family. 2 years ago, when he began talking about the deplorable condition of the cemeteries, I figured he was just venting, but I should have known better. See, my husband is a remarkable man. Believe it or not, he's really shy and a little bit introverted, but give him a cause and he's fully engaged. And when he first mentioned that we thought there was an opening on the cemetery board, I knew that we would be spending more time in Benton Harbor. Of course, you all know that he had to resign from that officially, but I knew he would try to find other ways to help. In support of him, I also prayed and asked God for direction. Should we just quietly keep caring for the family graves, or should we get engaged in something that requires us to travel a 3-hour round trip every time we come here? Should we quietly attend the meetings, or should we make our voices heard? We truly believe that God was calling us to try and help make a difference in Benton Harbor. We still believe that God isn't finished with us here. I have spoken with some of you. I believe your hearts are in the right place. I believe that you feel you are fulfilling your obligations as the mayor and commissioners. And at the same time, we still have questions about things, as my husband says, that haven't been answered. It is unfortunate that we are where we are. It is unfortunate that we couldn't get some of the answers we need or show us where we are wrong. If my husband learns that his concerns are unfounded, we will walk away. If his concerns turn out to be true, we will be making more trips to Benton Harbor. I can assure you that none of this is to be misunderstood as a personal attack or a threat. We have enjoyed getting to meet you and are pulling for all of you. If the residents of this city deserve better and more transparency, they deserve to have their commissioners backing them, watching their backs, and they have been hoping that our voices can also help.
Emma Kennard.
Good afternoon, everyone. I talked to a young man this morning, and he told me since they've worked on his, changed his lead line, he's had water in his crawl space. And I know that was repaired some years ago, his crawl space. And now he's getting water, and he said, who do I go to? Because he don't know where to go to get an answer. Some people that he talked to that's supposed to be the representative here, he can't get answers to. But I'm going to follow through and get answers for him as to why there's water. This man is paralyzed. And if water is collecting there, there's gonna be mold set up in his crawl space. So we got to get that taken care of. One other thing, I've seen this incident that come up by Dial Ride over here, which I served a number of years over here at Dial Ride. And every time I try to bring up the problems that I saw that was going on, I'm always shot down about it. I got checks here that was signed with my name stamped on them after I'd been over a month away, and who knows how long it went on, that they were still putting my name, stamping my name on checks. And I asked them not to. It's just as bad as signing my name there, stamping it on. So you can look away and everything, but there's gonna be a consequence for all of the things that you don't address, just like it was the water issue that I told you all about. Now they're giving the mayor all kind of accolades because the lead lines have been changed, and he wasn't the one that went after them to get these lead lines started. I gave them the water over a year before they even got any recognition due by Reverend Edward Pinckney, getting it started with the water council. So you all can look away when people come up with problems, not be transparent with them, and try to see the people that you promised when they knock on your doors and say, I won't need your vote, I want your vote, shake hand, kiss baby. And then when you're there, they don't have time to even talk to you. You're busy, you got to go to a meeting, or you're busy, you don't have time. It comes around that those same people that you're shying away from, you might want to run again. And you need this, they have that confidence in you. So I'm trying to tell you now, we got a big problem. You don't have that financial manager in place, you're going to reap the worst of that. Because someone should be keeping contact with every dime and dollar that you spend from here. This is not your money. This belongs to the city of Benton Harbor. So you all, thanks for coming and watching the city and working on it. I mean, that's a joke.
Daryl Jackson.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I am the chairman of the Benton Harbor Athletic Sports Club.
Point of order, please.
Well, we start this time.
My My name is Daryl Jackson. I am chairman of the Ben Harbor Athletic Sports Club. My vice chairman is Ron Singleton. A year ago, we planned this event called the Fastest Male and Female on the Streets of Barron County. It's a very historic event. For children ages 5 to 18, it's going to be held Saturday down on 6th Street, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. 9 a.m. is when they can register to 10 a.m. Well, 10:30 a.m. They can register. We're going to start at 11 o'clock. For a whole year, we've been asking folks, to help us out, sponsor. So by all that time, we got Horizon Bank, Michigan City, Alex Harris, Alexis Harris, Special Light of Benton Harbor and Decatur, Sunny Spot, Benton Harbor, Layla Bugs and Buttons Child Care, St. Joe, Vincent Grill, Benton Harbor. We also have Commissioner Emerald Iceland, that's sponsored, Terry Stokes of Benton Harbor, Jared Martinek of Decatur, April McCoy, Benton Harbor, Maverick French, Benton Harbor, Commissioner Ricky Hill, Benton Harbor. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something that we're trying to do, bring back something for the kids, get them off the street. And I and Mr. Singleton, we've been all over the place. I've been all over Barron County. I've been getting people from Chicago wants to come and see this event and help. We're looking for volunteers to help us with the kids, line them up in their races. We're looking for people to help us with timing. We're looking for people to come and wish them the best. See, you gotta have somebody wish see what these kids doing. You never know what these kids gonna do. I can tell you now that when I started back in '93, we got a girl, went through the club as a little kid. She went to University of Wisconsin, and she's an NCAA champion in 200 meters. We have other girls and boys that went off to college from a program just like this. We asking y'all support. We asking y'all to be out there Saturday to help us. We don't know how many kids we're gonna get, but any would be better than none. The streets is being taken care of. There's a few more things need to be done to it, and it will be done this weekend, before this weekend. Thank you very much.
Shaquille Turner.
Good evening. I know you guys are going to be trying to appoint the city intern attorney. I have done some facts on her. She has a bad reputation with clients. She's having poor communication with her clients, and if you Google her, you will notice that her client says that she don't return phone calls, she don't return emails to her clients on time. So I'm very concerned, does she know the MCRs? Is she familiar with Ben Harbor City ordinance? Is she familiar with city charter? So these are questions we got to make sure we have an attorney that's competent. She may be incompetent. Anybody can say, I love Ben Harbor. They come to this desk all the time. I love Ben Harbor. But find out they're incompetent. Second thing here, the master plan. I have read part 1. That was 6%, 7%. So I'm hoping that all commissioners have read it, which I doubt they won't read, unfortunately. The planning commission asked the commissioners to do it within 60 days. Unfortunately, we're gonna have some commissioners who gonna read, who not gonna read, who's incompetent, they don't understand what they're reading, what's before them. So I'm hoping that y'all pray and read the master plans. Thank you.
Spencer Nesbitt.
Good evening. My name is Spencer Nesbitt. I'm here. I've had the pleasure of working with the summer youth. And I can say they have done a great job, but you're going to have some negatives. You will have some people say that they haven't done anything. You will have some people that say that I don't know what I'm doing. But, I look over and I look back and I see the things that's going on within the city, and they are doing a good job. But most of all, what I like to say to you all, we have a commissioner, Commissioner Edwards, that he has got a lot of money put into the city that the city of Benton Harbor did not have to pay for any of those things. There was a truckload of mulch, a truckload of other things that came out to the park here last week. And the city did not have to spend a dime. So I want to say congratulations to Commissioner Edwards for doing what he did. And if he asked for a quarter for a hot dog, I think somebody should say yes. Because the money that he has saved the city right now. His kids have done a great job. They are still doing a great job. And I have some asking me all the time, can we do something year round? I said, well, that's not in my hand. So I'm bringing it to you. Say if there is something that can be done, I know, and must know if he has it in a way that he can come up with something, he would do it. And that's the thing that he's doing. The other thing that I'd like to say is tomorrow is an election. We're gonna have a lot of comments, we'll have a lot of negative things come against whoever, against the city commissioners. But I think that majority of you are doing the job that you were sent here for. And everybody's not gonna be pleased, everybody's not gonna be happy. But you continue to do what you're doing, and things gonna work out okay. People look at me and say, hey, you don't know what you're talking about, that's fine. I'm gonna say what's on my mind, I'm gonna continue to speak what's on my mind. That's my mind. And I've said it a long time ago when I first started coming to the meeting, half a year ago, that they got the eyes on you. This is a totally black community, totally black board. So if you guys can prove that you can do the job that you're supposed to do, continually to do it. Thank you.
No more comments.
I didn't get to put my name on there.
You're recognized.
All right. Excuse me. My name is Terry Amos, Minister Amos. My issue is with the community of the young youth and the community at whole. Because I am out here every day. I know this community, raised in this community, go anywhere in this community I want to go. And I'm out here battling. I get out every day, I pass out the night again, trying to save lives. So I talked to y'all police chief the other day. I asked him, I said, look, I know certain things in the city that I can help you with. I know places and things what's going on inside the city. And I have the power to do a lot of things inside the city that other people probably can't do. So he tells me, like, look, you go for it. So I was hoping that he would have said, come with me and show me what you know. I know a lot of stuff that I can help you with. With the attitude that he had, he showed me that he don't even really care about you. And being a minister, I am a minister myself. I have compassion for the city. I love the city. But hear him to say that, and I gave him the opportunity, because I do have power, whether he realized or not, to stop, slow down things in the city. And I'm asking for his support. He told me, look, they don't like police, you go do it. I really didn't like that part. Because too much going on, and I know I can't stop a lot of stuff to kill it, but I know some things I can talk to certain people and slow some things down. I guarantee you that. But I needed help. I went to him for help. He didn't want any help. I told him, good luck. You go do it. They don't like police. What kind of company is that when somebody offers you help in the city? Because I love this city. I love it all. I raised young, like I say. And I'm just compassionate with people. And I called the Dunn chapter another day over there. He gets on the phone with me. He was talking. He said, man, I filled out the paperwork to go over there and talk with the youth in the jail. Because he was on the phone with me about an hour. He said, man, we need help because these young kids don't know how or what's going on with women and men. I can relate to the community of the young generation. I go pick them up and take them to work with me. I got a little business, I can carve in there. I'm not afraid to go in the community. I'm not afraid. I go any gang side of this town, and I have my respect. And a lot of people can't do that because a lot of people are afraid. And a lot of people don't want to do it because they don't have compassion. So my thing was, I really didn't like what he said, but I don't know, man. If you ain't got hope for the city and want to help the city, then I don't know what to tell you. If someone comes and asks you for help. So that's my thing.
No more comments.
Madam Clerk, please, let the record minutes reflect that Dr. Council Butts, Irish Superintendent present. This brings us to our public hearing to establish PA 210 Commercial Rehabilitation District at 501 and 501 Grand Avenue, Renaissance Athletic Club, aka RAC. Are there any representatives present? You are recognized.
Good evening. My name is Zachary Vaughn. I'm with Cornerstone Alliance. I am their Director of Community Improvement. I'm here on behalf of RAC, Renaissance Athletic Club. Accompanying me is Laura McCoy, who's the General Manager of the facility. We're here today to request the establishment of a commercial rehabilitation district for the property that sits on 501 Grand Ave in Pittsburgh, Michigan. I am here today to help answer and field any questions as it relates to the technical aspects of the commercial rehabilitation district, and hopefully answer any questions that the commission may have. And I have Laura along my side here to answer any questions that the commission may have also. So I want to open it up to the commission. If there are any questions, that gives me the opportunity to go a little deeper into again, the technical aspects of the district and what needs to be done in order for the RAC to potentially gain the approval of the tax extension further on down the road.
So I want to just read the memo, if that's okay, for this for some context. Item before the commission, this is part of the public hearing, a resolution to establish a commercial rehabilitation district, 501 Graham. Justification, the Renaissance Athletic Club and Cornerstone Alliance submitted a request to the city's clerk's office to establish a commercial rehabilitation district at 501 Grand Avenue. The Planning and Economic Development Committee reviewed the request at their July 26, 2022 meeting and recommended a public hearing to be set to give the public and any other interested parties an opportunity to appear and be heard. The proposed rehabilitation of the building consists of upgrades, locker rooms, parking lot, shower area, and steam room, plumbing, tilling, HVAC, and electrical, and is estimated to cost approximately $250,000 to create 3 to 4 jobs. Financial impact if the commercial rehabilitation district approved and request for a commercial rehabilitation tax exemption will be submitted, which will allow property taxes for the proposed district to be frozen at the previous year's taxable value for up to 10 years. The taxable value for summer 2023 is $579,975. Chair recognizes the chairman of the Planning and Economic Development Committee, Bureau of Citizens.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. This was fully vetted at our committee meeting. We did ask the question of the assessor, which was not present, to give us the amount of the taxes that have been paid and what that amount will be looking like as it's frozen yearly. So we'll have that part of this packet. I have no problem with seeing beautification and renovation, but I do understand that you just got involved with other things. I don't have nothing to do with them. I do support this owner. I think they've done a wonderful job with the beautification of that property. I think that a lot of people being helped with that property. I think a lot of good things have happened with that property. I think that teachers and police officers and other individuals who are less fortunate have been helped. Will feel free to have a direct pipeline with the city of Ben Harbor when these kind of things come about. I would ask that, I've looked over it numerous times. The only information I did not receive was from our city assessor, who was not present during that meeting, of the assessment amount of what's being paid now. And the difference, because if this was frozen and you're investing, it's probably the same thing. I want to make this clear to the public. The same thing as you put a fence and roof on your house, or you put an air conditioning unit or a heating unit in your house. They're not asking for no more property, just asking for what they're putting in their property, that we freeze the taxable amount, because, you know, I mean, they do want to beautify it and make it better. There's a lot of downtown property that ain't doing nothing, that's still holding on to something. I don't know why they're still there, but I support it. And I would ask each and every one of these committee members to do your research on it. But I would do ask again through the chair, to our city manager during this hearing, that we do know the amount that is being paid, because I don't want nobody making it tax-free, tax exempt. They don't want to pay taxes, because that's a fallacy. They have been paying taxes. They have been paying their fair share. They're paying more than a lot of other entities that are downtown who are doing nothing, holding up property. So I support it, and I do, to the chair, ask to make sure that we do put on record that they are paying taxes and the amount they're paying. So nobody can leave there with the fallacy that Ben Harbor is giving away a tax break when people are paying taxes. Thank you, Honorable Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. The chair recognizes the city clerk.
So I actually do have that information that I obtained from the assessor's office. Their summer tax bill, their current summer tax bill is $28,975.78. Their summer higher than the winter. The last winter bill was $1,309.36. Their assessed value is $1,288,800.
That will be in the minutes.
Yes.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Elijah Adams.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I was just listening to my colleague here, Pro Tem Seats, and he stated that it's no different than putting in a furnace. Anything internally you put in a property is not assessed anyway, but anything outwardly is reassessed for a property value. So I think I might have missed it, but is that part of what's going on? Something on the outer structure?
So at this point in time, we have a idea of what we want to see upgraded within the facility.
Within
I'm sorry?
or out?
Yes, within.
Okay.
Within. I know Laura's here also. She can speak a little bit to the intent of the upgrades here, but there could be, and I'm not going to speak for Laura, but there could be also a later expansion or anything else different that can happen also.
Okay, I just remember the whole overall project of Harbor Shores, because that is a part of Harbor Shores.
This is not our.
No.
I know the Renaissance that sits right there within the whole,
It's not a part of Harbor Shores.
Correct.
We're not.
oh,
It's
really?
We're not.
Separate.
We're completely separate.
Oh, okay, then, okay, because I know that it came through the Brownfield initially. And I don't speak for the Brownfield as a whole, but, I just hadn't been present, and I just assumed that property in that business was as well. Okay, so that gives me something else to think about, because I know that for even us as homeowners and business owners, and you want to invest in your property, and the economy is like it is. I mean, a lot of us struggle, but to upgrade, to try to gain more notoriety and attract more people to, you know, make business better, I get that. Well, as long as, I mean, the taxes that they're paying now are going to be froze, right? They will continue to pay that amount. Okay, then I think I can support this, because right now my mind is set on how are we going to find some money to fix and keep the water plant up and operating, that service the Renaissance. Am I right? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I would ask, what was on this property prior to Renaissance Avenue?
Superior Steel.
So, yeah, prior to the development, it was wetlands for a while, but prior to that, I know there were factories along that.
I used to be a
road there down the ground.
I drove down every day to the bus.
I'm just trying to ask.
I know.
What's in it. So it was basically wasteland. What was the amount of the initial investment?
Very good question. I don't have that on me now, but
Either.
I'm sure we can pull that up.
Yes,
If you could provide that to the city clerk.
I will.
Because typically, and I know that, and I spoke with one of the council persons that reside with the CID or South Shore Athletic Club, where they're making upgrades. But what it says to me is a long-term investment in the city of Midtown, which I commend Todd and family for stepping up and making an investment in an area that was, I don't know, abandoned is the right word, but left for dead. And jobs, health was a huge part of our community improvement as well, which fits into the social infrastructure that needs to be rebuilt in this community. So I don't see nothing but good. Some said, well, commercial rehabilitation district is only for blighted areas. I've gotten that argument. Apples and oranges, depending upon how you look at it. But 10 or 15 years ago, it was not. So that's worse than blight. So I can support this development. And I think that it's what is the long-term projection? I know you mentioned other possible.
Yeah, and
And it would be good to be as transparent
absolutely.
and provide as much information, not just to the council, but to the community, because people want to know what is the RAC going to do and what kind of plans they have for.
So for the purposes of this meeting, this acts as a prerequisite that needs to be completed prior to actually approving the funding on the tax exemption and collecting time for the exemption. So once we pending approval tonight, once we schedule the next public hearing for the application and for the approval process, we can go into greater detail of exactly what this investment looks like, what the future holds for the RAC there, the impact that the investment will have once the upgrades are made for the profit that they are rendering there, and we can provide a lot more detail than what we can today. Obviously, this is the first step. So once this is established, this gives the RAC and their team more, gives them the opportunity to go back and strategically plan on what's next, and bring it forward to the commission as well as.
Chair recognizes the question.
I just have a question. I know we're hoping to establish this commercial district. This will also be going to the planning commission, and then they should be making a recommendation about this project as it gone through that prior to coming to us? That's just my question.
So it did, and I mean, you called on, just a little here, but it did go through the, planning or the economic development planning committee prior to making it to the public hearing today.
So I think the plans would, so after, if approved, then whatever developments, that would come, to the city. If it were, site plans or what have you, then it would go through the planning commission. Chair recognizes, will you finish, Commissioner?
I just say, as Commissioner C stated, I do support this project moving forward because again, it's an investment in our community, and a business that is looking to be there long term. So definitely do support this project.
Chair recognizes third ward Commissioner Henry.
Amen. What exactly do you do? What exactly do you do in your facility, your business?
It's a health club, so it's a workout facility, as well as there is another business inside of us for personal training, healthcare, physical therapy.
So it's covered by person's insurance?
The physical therapy that's a separate business inside of us, but it is part of us.
It is part of it.
Some health insurances do cover your gym or club membership, or part of it.
You also find different classes there, from yoga to,
Meditation, yep, that things to make you healthier.
It's something that seems like we all need. With the condition of my residents and economic stress, what do you give any kind of preference treatment to a low-income Vietnamese resident? Is there any preference treatment that you will allow them to come in and use your facility as needed, or you gotta be able to take the main insurance that's in the city, Medicare and Medicaid? So I'm asking, is there anything that offers to the citizens of Vietnam?
So they work with individuals at different income levels. It's not a one-size-fits-all, but they will work with the individual to help maybe set up a membership that will fit them into a membership that may work for them and their income. But you know, it is a state-of-the-art gym. They have multiple upgraded weightlifting, and they have an outdoor field. They have a lot of different amenities there. So they try to work with each and everybody, but sometimes it may work for some, and sometimes it may not work for others.
So there's an annual membership fee, that you pay monthly? Monthly. And what is the low and the high on those monthly fees?
We can provide that to you. I don't have that at the moment.
Well, I want to say this. For the last 2.5 years, I've been trying to get some money just to get communication going. And they always tell me the same thing. We're broken, we don't have any money. So why would I want to give a private company a tax break and we need the money? Now, that's just not a question to you, Mayor, because I was just happy to be looking at you because you were deep into my eyes. But that wasn't the question for you, Mayor. I'm saying that to my citizens. Why would you want to give a tax credit to a private company that gives nothing back to you, and we all need our money? Now, when it's your time, because this is your public hearing, we're going to talk about it a little bit more, but you got to listen to what they're saying and how it's going to benefit Ben Harbor residents. Thank you.
I want to recognize Commissioner Singleton, who has not spoken. Commissioner Singleton, please.
Thank you. When I hear these type of requests and stuff, I do consider, the operation, the business, what they have done thus far, and what I've seen, that they have participated and made access to the community. Matter of fact, different organizations. I think it's the organization that George Bell, Rodney Alexander, they have made access, impact, to their facilities. To those organizations do help a whole lot of kids. So then I think about the investment, that it took to get that operation going. It was willing to take a chance to do that. They're paying the fair share of taxes now. I don't think there's any tax breaks on that right now. So it's, but then those big operations like that, you have to keep them up. If not, you don't get the money in. You start skimping on keeping the facilities up or even growing. I look at it as a investment on both sides. You're gonna be here if you're saying, okay, 10 years, no difference in what you're getting right now. That money is going to the taxes. I'm sure some of it hit the general fund. To put a value, I don't know what can you put, monetary value on the philanthropy type stuff that they do, with the different organizations, so it is an investment. I think we also on this side have to, if we want to retain businesses, we have to work with it, not give away the farm, but, put our 2 cents in too. So from what I'm hearing so far, I concur with, Mayor Pro Tem. I'm sure he vetted it out. Tim. If he got through his committee, it was, so I can support it.
Chair recognizes First Ward. Commissioner Henderson.
Oh, yeah, just a final thing, I've been to the facility. I think I made a mistake and took a hot yoga class. Probably a huge mistake. And I got to the facility, but one thing that I didn't like was a small gym space, so hopefully a small workout area. They had a nice locker room, we're gonna get a massage, a little workout class, and just the personal things that was tailored to people who went. You're exactly right, it did work with the income levels based on the clients that were there, and I did appreciate that. But it was, I thought it was a lovely facility in there, just a diverse bunch of people, old, young, black, white, young gentleman that actually does security work at Ben Harbor High School, was working there, Mr. Prentice Recruiter. So it was just, great to see familiar faces. Even when I went in the juice bar, and you could look out the back and see the golf course. It was just, the property is just absolutely beautiful. So just to see it expand and grow, I think it'll be just really great for our community. And I would say to anybody who hasn't gone, to just visit, walk in and take a tour. The facilities now are lovely, and I just can't imagine to you know, once it's complete, how, more beautiful it would be. So I definitely do support this.
Commissioner Adams and Commissioner Ice.
It is a nice facility. When it first opened up, I had a brief tour. And people go into business to make money. And that's something that we can't forget. What's the time limit on this tax break?
So, and we can get more into this at the next meeting, pending tonight. It's 1 to 10 years for the exemption period.
Thank you.
Commissioner Ice, I'm going to Commissioner Clark.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I just wanted to, could you speak on the job creation of 3 to 4 positions?
So yes, we can. For the purpose of tonight, one thing I want to reiterate also is that the establishment of the district, again, is the purpose of tonight. This acts as somewhat of an overlay on top of the parcel or the property there that triggers actually the opportunity to vote on the period of time for the exemption. Now, which we can get into, we probably won't go into great detail because obviously this exemption is dependent on actually what activity is going to happen throughout the upgrades or throughout the renovations that will be made there. But I just want to make sure that the commission understands, as well as the community understands, that again, this is phase 1 of the process. Tonight is not the vote on approval of any time period or years of the exemption. This is solely for the opportunity to, again, hear or bring this back to the commission for the approval of a tax exemption there. So during that period, we'll have more of our ducks in a row to provide more information as to investment, as to job creation, to the economic impact, to where we have the current taxable value of the property. So we'll have a lot more information that we can delve into that will, again, be more transparent to the community and the commission as to what exactly this project is composed of.
Commissioner Clark.
I just want to say, I've been in there many times over the years, and I've been to a lot of the events for the WBA Cornerstone, and they were great events. I also, being the full board commissioner, had the honor of speaking when they dedicated the room to the personal trainer that had died. So it's a great thing. They're doing some great things. And I like that the health bar, you know, a lot of the health things, but he even worked out there a few times. So I'm looking forward to you guys doing more great things. And I also wanted to know, because I know you do personal therapy, I know you do sport like training, but do you also do like rehab for people that have strokes or heart attack? You know, because a lot of them needs.
That's more of a physical therapy company that's inside of us. Our personal trainers can work with them once their doctors have released them. We have many patients come through the door that once their doctors are ready for them to start doing activities, to come in and do it.
Okay, thank you.
Before we open it up to the public, Mayor Pro Tem.
That's not on. All right. Thank well, I'll stand right here for what's happening here. Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Through the chair, I keep hearing this word "we" as far as funding and where the money is going to come from. Is it going to be a joint venture with Renaissance, Cornerstone, Renaissance, State of Michigan? Who's going to provide the fund? I heard that word "we," that "we" keeps coming up. And a lot of times when you buy a car, we say "we," that means we both gonna split the payment. Or we buy a house, we're gonna split the payment. So when you say "we," with the funding and what's gonna happen in transitioning, is the state helping, or is there something expected from the city? Or does Cornerstone have a grant they've already secured that they're gonna put into this entity, Renaissance, or Renaissance already has investors? So when you say "we," I just need to know what kind of "we" we're looking at, and just to get a clear understanding of who's putting the money where the mouth is. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Yeah, no problem. my apologies there. I use we loosely since I'm here representing the RAC there, but this is the Renaissance Athletic Club. This is their project. This is their funding. Cornerstone has no financial investment into this project other than us coming here to represent the RAC tonight and provide more technical clarity about the exemption process.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
You recognize.
Thank you. If this investment does not happen, does it revert back?
That's a very good question. For the purpose of the district remains. Now, obviously, if there is a later opportunity, or if the RAC later comes back and says, hey, this is what we want to do, the district is already established and it already pushes us forward, for the approval process. Now, since we have not made it to the approval process, there have not been any approvals of any exemptions at this point in time. Now, once we get to that point, that gives the commission the opportunity to choose between that 1 to 10 year period. And that's when we would look for your guidance. And we'll present what we think is best, but ultimately it will be the commission's decision on what that 1 to 10 year length looks like.
Commissioner Edwards.
Thank you, Uncle Q. I've been there a few times. I go there in the summer to watch the kids play flag football.
Mm-hmm.
So that is open to the public. I mean, so say if I wanted to put a team in there for Ben Harbor kids, could I do that?
Yeah, that's your answer. But I don't want to speak for you, but I understand that there is a reservation process that you must go through. Laura, you can speak to this. There is a process that you must go through prior to gaining access to that field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a reservation with a nominal fee, depending on what you need. If you need our lights, if you need trash and things like that, that will affect our club.
So I can come in tomorrow and get it.
You can come in and talk with me, yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
So I'll just be clear, tonight is just, like an engagement. This is not the wedding. If you're familiar with that process, but it's very important to the ultimate commitment. So I thank you all for coming and enlightening. And at this time, we want to open it up to the public to hear from the public at large.
My question is.
So we're gonna have them,
stay.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah. All right.
My question is, are they Ben Harbor residents, not residents, water bill customers?
Yes,
Yes,
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
yes, I'm positive where I said it.
If there are no other comments, then we ask that you stay involved in the process as they come back to present more information with details of what their plans are. We do have one attorney last question.
I just have a question. This is kind of speaking to what Commissioner Henry stated earlier, the importance of ensuring that Ben Harbor residents will have access to the state-of-the-art facilities. People who deserve state-of-the-art access as well. So I'm just wondering, have you all considered possibly doing scholarship programs or if it is that potentially get grant money from other entities to assist with the income limitation?
Yes. Yes to all of that. We do also have a sports performance program that we are getting together that we can try to see so that it can help with grants for other residents as well as kids to be able to get scholarships and for their training.
But this time we are going to move forward and close the public hearing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Which brings us to our consent calendar items.
I'm not sure if there's a motion to suspend. I'd like to, add the appointment of Ivy Chandler to the Brownfield Authority.
Is she on?
Well, it's just
Support.
didn't come to legislative.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion is made by Mayor Pro Tem Cease to approve
Whoa,
the
whoa,
consent
whoa, whoa,
calendar.
whoa. We separate. With the exception of some separations, number 1, number 3, number 5, 7, and 11. Wait. Yeah, 7, 11, yeah.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Carter.
I want to separate number 6, 14, and 16.
Madam Clerk. What items do we have recognized for consent?
For consent, 2, 4, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 15, 17, and 18.
I'd like to separate for 18.
What about the ambulance?
We need, those are the, what you cited was the separating.
No. You asked for the consent calendar.
Yes. So,
Separate number 9.
It's already separated. Oh, no, late.
You hear me good?
I do want to remind the council that we cannot exceed 10 o'clock.
We can proceed.
There shouldn't be this many items on here.
All we have to do is
No, we cannot. Is there a motion for the approval of the consent calendar?
So moved.
The motion is made by Commissioner Singleton, supported by Mayor Pro Tem Cease. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Yes.
Commissioner Adams,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yeah.
Commissioner Edwards, Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to the first separated item, resolution to appoint Sarah Seneca, pardon me, as interim city attorney. Is there a motion for the approval?
Motion to approve.
Motion is made by Commissioner Adams. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Commissioner Isom. Is there discussion? Chair recognizes Commissioner Carter.
Okay, so, when I heard of this, I was at the personnel and finance, and, it was stated that she, be the, so I did some reviews of rating and case management. And from 2000, and plus what we were given, so from 2002, 2003 until present, the longest job I've seen was 4 years. Most of them has only been a year. The present one has only been 2 years. So I'm not comfortable or confident with this appointment.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Commissioner Adams.
Thank you. Now, we knew that our attorney had given us over 30 days. And did an RFP go out, a job search go out? Because I was shocked by this appointment. I mean, I didn't even know that there was an interview. Was there an interview? I mean, I missed a lot. And evidently, I'm not the only one. I know that we have some legal matters going on that are very important and cannot just stay stagnated, sitting in doing nothing when things are probably in the court.
Right.
And I'm sure right now. So we all dropped the ball. The special meeting that should have been called was not called. Wow. I'm a little disappointed with the things that I've heard. I mean, I haven't done a background search, but I would think that the one over day-to-day operations would have. To know if in fact, I mean, because to come out publicly and say about a person's character that's applying for a job, interim or whatever, it's just not cool.
The thing about, when I read the reports of what they said about Jesus, it was a
Okay, Jesus.
it's my turn to speak. No. You had your chance. So we're not gonna sit here and go off of what somebody said, what I heard.
No, we're not.
That's not, no, and I had the floor.
I actually had.
So,
Ma'am,
what's
she had
in
the
front of
floor.
us?
You just can't,
What's
you
in,
just can't arbitrarily
Commissioner,
take the
point
floor
of
for
order,
her.
point of order.
That's what I'm saying to you, a point of order.
So
You cannot just take the floor from her.
Point of order.
Point of order.
The item before the commission is a resolution to approve the appointment
Okay, so
of Sarah Sanika as interim city attorney and authorize the city manager to sign any and all agreements. Now that I don't agree with. Benton Harbor City Commission appoints Sarah Sanika as interim city attorney until the city commission can make a permanent appointment and authorize the city manager. So an interim city manager would make the city attorney a city commission employee, not a city manager employee. If it was a contract hire, but since it's a interim city manager, city attorney, then it would be a city commission employee, which means that the city manager would not be signing any agreements.
Well, Mayor, are you aware of the things that are in court? The cases
So
that,
I'm gonna finish. The city's current attorney firm, Victor Jennings, has acted to dissolve. Attorney Rock's last day as city attorney was August 4, 2023. It is necessary to appoint an acting city attorney until a permanent appointment can be made. RFP for city attorney will be sent out with an opening date to be determined. Attorney Seneca was interviewed by the city manager, Attorney Rock, and co-chair of the Personnel Finance Committee. Attorney Seneca specializes in municipal law and has an expertise to provide services to the city of Benton Harbor. So this is a interim basis. It's not a permanent hire. But at this time, as of August 4th, the city of Benton Harbor has no attorney. So in the interest of guarding the interests of the city, the residents, it's a no-brainer to protect the city. But again, it's interim. It's not a permanent hire. An RFP will be sent out. But yes,
should have been out.
So as it stands, as stated, if approved, the city attorney will be a city council employee, and it'll be treated as such. Chair recognizes Mr.
One big thing is left out, salary. What kind of fee is the city residents gonna pay to this intern attorney?
Right.
It's not in the document, so I'm trying to.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I see a lot of letters, recommendations, but I don't see the money, so. Somebody tell me if there's a salary.
See page 2,
what really
conversation.
goes on.
Can you tell her? She wanted to know.
Did the other firm give
Page 2.
give the information to her already as to where?
Page 2, Commissioner.
Page 2.
Section 2.
Section.
Section 2. So the city has already budgeted for legal services for the 2023-2024 year. So our interim hire of the current board.
So she'll get $200 if we require her to be at this meeting, what our attorneys is supposed to be? Or does she get $200 an hour when she take our people to court?
I thought it was
For
175.
prosecuting? It just made me understand what the
So
$200.
it says the legal services does not require a return fee for services. Compensation for services to be rendered by attorney under subparagraphs A, B, and C of section 1. The city shall pay attorney at the rate of $200 an hour for attorney time, itemized by quarters of an hour. Itemized and detailed billing for legal services shall be presented to the city by the 25th of each month during the term of this contract, payable on or before the last day of the following month during city term.
What is this price for?
There's no retainer fee.
Oh.
Bittner and Jennings, there was a retainer
Okay,
fee
okay.
that we had to pay. That was a firm. But this is a person that is being named into.
Okay, so what
So
would the
you have to
RFP
say
say?
that when she's to
Yes.
be at the meeting, that she gets $200 an hour?
Anytime she's on the clock, it's $200 per hour.
And who does she report to?
The city commission.
As a whole or the mayor as the chair?
Any city commission employee reports to the city commission. First city charge.
Okay, I understand that, Mayor, but you always give information and you don't share it with us. So I'm asking you now, is our attorney, if we put her in there, will she answer to only the mayor and the city manager, or does she answer to
The
the
difference
board?
between this hire, Bittner and Jennings, was a contract.
I understand that, but you got to answer my question. You ain't
I
got to
just
take me
told you,
down the road.
According to the city charter, any city commission employee reports to the city commission.
Not just to the mayor,
Correct.
and not just to the city manager.
The city council, the city attorney reports to the city.
Okay, that's all I want to know.
We have not had, a city attorney since 2009.
I know that. You just got here.
Just a
So,
reminder, Madam.
thank you for, letting me know that, and, as long as we have our authority back and our legal counsel, we've had some counsel here that didn't know nothing, and they got a lot of money, but this one seemed to have some information to share with us out of the clear last time she was here, so better than a stick in the eye.
Chair recognizes Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor, I would just ask a question. Being that, with the partner said Dedman Fetty Bell, which was like, former attorney for Benton Township, some others. When we do put this out for bid, I don't want, preferential treatment. I think we should have went out when we found out that we had a year left with the city attorney. We should have put out an RFP that not only protects us, but protects the entity of this said city. Because you can't just tell me that the last entity was doing this such a phenomenal job and they tell you next. So I would just state that I would ask the commission that we do, as a part of this, we put out immediate RFP for attorney.
Is that a motion?
Well, the thing, we don't have to, that's just something that's done.
Yes, we do.
We need an immediate
Yes, we do.
RFP.
Immediate, is that a motion? I
Put
support.
out for
I
city
support.
attorney.
It's already been drafted.
That's already been drafted. The city clerk puts out that.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
but we can say we don't need it, but then we say it's already drafted. I wanted to make sure that it's known for the residents that we're putting out an immediate RFP for the city attorney. It needs to happen.
Yeah, I didn't hear any
Because
discussion.
nobody said, I hear it's been drafted, but I want to put out.
It's in the justification and it's in the
Okay, so-
recommendation. An RFP.
So with the RFP being put out, thank you, Mayor, with the RFP being immediately put out, then I would ask that the applications do come to the body, not to staff,
Please,
because staff, human resources, this is not their employees. This is a commissioned employee, along with, the financial director.
yeah,
That's not a human resource employee. That is a commission employee. So applications do come in for positions that we oversee. And those applications need to come to us. We don't need nobody really vetting them. We don't need nobody saying yes or no. We don't need nobody saying anything. We need to fully vet the employees that come to this full body. And what I've been saying is that somehow applications have been getting hamstrung with human resources. Human resources have nothing to do with our employees. And we talk about background checks and we get all that done through this body. So I'm asking that through this body, that when the charter says that the city attorney and the director for finance reports to this body, that the applications come to this body and not just anybody. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
So I just want to, and I do agree, Mayor Pro Tem. It says here, the purpose of this agreement is for the attorney to provide interim legal counsel and city attorney services for the city during the period of time when the city is preparing and sending out a request for proposal for attorney services through the time the city hires and appoints a permanent city attorney. And that's located in the, prior to section 1 of the contract of legal representation.
Call for the question.
Question you can call for, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Yes.
Commissioner Adams,
yes,
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
With clarity that she just did an interim and the immediate RFP will go out. Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
yes.
Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes,
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes,
Motion carried.
so many separated items. Madam Clerk, you help.
3.
Resolution number 3, approving no-vote special use permit on adult use Class C grower facility located in 900 El Rico Road. The motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Adams, to support.
support.
Supported by Commissioner Singleton. Discussion. Chair recognizes Commissioner President.
Okay, so to my understanding, the rural, we don't get as much taxes in a facility. So what percentage, how much taxes do we get out for Class C one? City manager, Mr. Willie, who answers that?
You get, marijuana businesses, the only taxes you get are those on the property and income. You get a distribution from the state on what they collect. They give so much to this community rates, marijuana license that's operating.
Okay, so what do we get for the grower? Nothing? because you're saying we just get it for the facility and the property tax. So for the class C grower, that was my question.
They give you a portion of the state
What's the
distribution.
portion? Depending on how much
It
they
depends on how much they
get on.
collect.
Okay, thank you.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Adams.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I guess my question is, because they already have grow light, is this a stack on top of the license that they already have?
They have several, yes.
Okay, so they're just stacking, okay. I'm kind of happy because it was on the news prior to coming to this meeting that, Michigan making a killing. And I'm looking at some of their money so we can, get some of their money to operate our plant out there and take care of some other things in our communities. Yeah. Decriminalized it too.
The chair recognizes third ward Commissioner Henry.
Thank you. Well, Commissioner Adams.
Yes, ma'am.
You and I worked on this project till our knuckles got stuck.
Girl.
But it's true. When they sell marijuana, we get reimbursed by the state. When they sell the product to the people, not growers, we get property tax and we get income tax. Whoever they hire to grow. So, no, there's no additional income. What they need to do is produce more weed to sell to other communities. We get nothing other than what they have been giving us. We don't have a community,
Benefits.
we don't have anything.
They don't allow it, they don't allow it.
Mayor,
They
there
don't
you
allow
go, interrupted me again.
I cannot let you.
You don't even know what I was saying because you interrupted me.
You cannot falsify.
You don't know what I was saying because you interrupted me, and I'm tired of you interrupting me.
They don't allow that.
You don't know what I was saying, and I appreciate if you keep your mouth closed until you take the seat, till you take it back from me. And I'm not releasing it until I finish. Thank you.
Micro.
So, no, they don't give us any money other than property tax and income tax.
Jobs.
They don't even use our water. The whole facility uses Benton Township's water. So what do we get? Here's another project of they get all the benefits and we get none. What do we get from them if they're not even using our water?
Commissioner Henry, this is not about what we.
Yes,
get
it
from
is.
them.
Yes, it
That's
is.
not what's
It's
on the-
exactly what it's about.
This is a
It is,
resolution
it's just what
approving
it's
no
about.
special use permit for an adult use Class C grower facility located in 900 El Rico. It's not about what they give to the city. It's not about no benefit package. It's not about any of that.
Not to you, but it is to me and the citizens. They want to see something come out of it. They don't want us to just give anything away. We need money. That's what you said. The city manager says we need money. But we can't get money for the things that we need. But every time someone comes here, a millionaire, and asks for a benefit, and we give it to them without getting anything.
They're not asking for no benefit. They're asking for us to follow the law that our ordinance we passed.
Yeah, but we have the right to turn them down or let them rape us like they're doing.
Point of order, Commissioner.
I'm through.
This property was set vacant for years.
Don't tell me
Waste-
about it because you just got here.
This property sat vacant for years. It was a totally different manufacturing plant. Nobody invested in it. Noble came in, bought the property, $400,000, put millions of dollars into it. Now it's providing jobs. It's
tax roll.
It's on the tax roll. As far as with the water, that has nothing to do with Noble. When big townships and the lines were severed through the emergency management, we lost all of the township customers.
We got money now, can we get it
And the
back?
state law says that whatever business that's in that locale can connect to the nearest tap. That's the law. So we can't force or make anybody in the township, even if it's a parcel of the city of Benton Harbor, connect to our water system. Nor can we hold them up or hostage and say, if you don't do this, we're not gonna do that. What's in front of us is based on our ordinance and our law, and they want to expand, they want to continue to develop their business, and that's why they're in front of us. We can either vote it up or vote it down.
So what are you jibber-jabbering about? Because I just said that. I just said that.
Yeah, with the other, we need.
Yeah, because the people need to hear.
And if they not gonna do that,
The people need to hear what benefits we get out of them and the benefits they get from growing 9,000
Not no
more plants.
shakedown, entity.
You are out of order again.
Question has been called for.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
No.
Commissioner Edwards,
Commissioner Edwards.
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
No.
Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats, Commissioner Adams,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to number 5,
Number 5.
resolution to place City of Benton Harbor general operating millage renewal proposal before qualified electors of the city for the November 7th, 2023 election. Is there a motion for approval? Motion made by Commissioner Adams, is supported.
Support.
Supported by Commissioner Singleton. Is there discussion?
Can we get clarity on it?
I'd like the city assessor to weigh in.
Right. So, sorry, sorry. So I believe we have millage expired.
Correct.
And it needs to be put back on the ballot.
So in 2013, the city of Benton Harbor, every 10 years, there's a operating millage that essentially funds our police department that expired. And a partial 10 mills was assessed, and to have the rest of it assessed, we need to have the millage passed. If the millage is not passed, then we are in a position where we could possibly lose public safety. And it would be now dependent upon Marion County to provide police services for the city of Benton Harbor. So this millage is very critical and it's very important.
That's right.
Chair recognizes Mayor Pro Tem Seats.
Oh, man, I support this millage wholeheartedly, knowing that, that we stand to lose our, police department, our public safety, fire department. I will stand on any corner, wave any sign to keep it going. But I do need to ask a question. Why wasn't it done before? Whose fault was it that this did not happen? This should have been on the last election, the last ballot that we had. We wouldn't even be sitting there on this situation talking about it. I know a lot of times we like to get back to stuff and we won't talk about it later. But this is something that's massive and that's needed. And now that we're segregating it, I don't want there to be a problem. Because this is something that's humongous. But the elephant in the room is, why was not this put out there in the forefront? And this should not, and I'm gonna say this publicly, this should not be something that the commission has to do. We should not be putting this out there saying that we need to help. Staff should have been told us that this was something that needed to happen. You got a city assessor that you're paying. You got a city clerk that you're paying. You got a city manager that you're paying. And we're not paying chicken nugget prices.
Mm.
We're paying some surf and turf prices. You can get you a nice steak and some lobster with the tomato sauce. But this should have been on, if not the last election or the last ballot. It should have been, and y'all can say what you want to, what you will. You lost money because you didn't do it. Now you can go back and try to retrieve it, but most people say we're the highest tax anyway. So what I'm saying is I need to know, because it's gonna come up again. Why was not this, and if it was not, then other municipalities, I know we're gonna skirt it. Other municipalities already have voted on to keep their stuff on, all them villages, and I heard the eloquent attorney who was being appointed, who had been appointed, and she said it so eloquently of what possibly did happen. But the truth is, she wasn't here when it happened. Somebody dropped the ball, and we need to know who did it, and let's move on from it, and let everybody in this room fight hard to keep it going. But let's fight hard to never let it happen again. Thank you, Honorable Mayor.
I want to recognize the city clerk.
So I just want to clarify that regardless if this was last year, next year, the commission still has to pass the ballot language. It cannot go on the ballot without the city commission passing the ballot language.
Honorable Mayor, the point of clarity.
Yes, sir.
That was not my question. My question was, why are we here today asking the commission to pass this ballot language? Why were we asking to pass this ballot language, knowing that it needs to be passed? So let's pass it next year then. I put a point that we just don't do it now, then since the clerk put it that way, let's table it and pass it next year. Because that's the way it sounded. I'm asking a clear and precise question.
So
The ballot language needed to come to us. When? When should it have came to us? That's my question. Not if we do it next year or 5 years later.
Last
That's not
February.
true.
So the ballot language, we could have had an election in May. We could have had an election in February. We can have an election, it could have been on the August ballot tomorrow, and it could be on the November ballot. But it would have to have happened this year.
Tonight.
At some point.
Tonight.
So it hasn't completely expired, which is how we were able to still capture some of the taxes from the summer. But the second half of it, if it's not passed tonight and in November, then we got a gorilla in the China shop. Yes, they recognize it.
My question was just about the language itself. You read the exact language that people would be voting on when they.
So the exact language that'll go on the ballot will say, shall the limitation on the amount of taxes which may be imposed on all taxable property in the city of Benton Harbor, county of Berrien, Michigan, be increased by 10 mills, $10 per $1,000 of taxable value for a period of 10 years, 2023 to 2032, inclusive, as an additional millage to provide funds for general operating purposes. It is estimated that 10 mills would raise approximately $1,588,842 when levy is renewed in 2023.
It was already 10, right? It's just a renewal.
This is just a renewal.
Not an increase. So.
Chair recognizes.
Thank you. I have a question because I heard you make a statement, Mayor. Who determines who did the taxes? How was that determined? Everybody didn't, but who determines who does? Okay.
That's based on the state of Michigan's law. Michigan compiled law.
Which one? Send them to me, please. Cause I wanna know how that's determined, who pays and who doesn't.
When you got the Headley and that's regulated.
No, I'm talking about, because this, we lacked on sending this and voting on this in the last election. I guess what I'm talking about is, to be clear, is I received a tax for one property. I haven't seen any others. Is that why?
I mean, I
Okay, so that's what I'm getting at.
I'm not on the tax yet.
Okay, well, you said something about Michigan compile laws, I mean, hey.
I
Okay.
misunderstood your question.
Don't compile a bunch of, hey, okay.
You asked me how and who determines who is
Okay,
taxed.
all right.
And I said that the Michigan
Okay,
filed law
okay.
determines.
Well, can our assessor answer that question?
I don't understand the question.
Okay, I received one summer tax for one property out of several. Why have I not received the others? Does it have
Commissioner,
anything
you
to
need
do
to talk
with
to
this?
the assessor
Through the chair?
separately.
No, I'm asking
If it's a
you.
personal matter.
I'm asking you,
So
no.
everybody
it
should
comes-
have received their summer tax bill.
Okay, okay.
So if you're missing some, you need to.
No, okay,
You need to
okay.
ask for extra funds.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Hamilton.
1 minute, my lord.
I would support this really wholeheartedly, on two perspectives. Being co-chair of public safety, you just can't take that like you're just school president. Because you're talking not only our public safety officers' lives, but the lives that they have to protect and serve. On a personal note, I have two sons-in-laws that are police. And also have a son who's a state police in Georgia. And to not to provide them what they need, kind of want to go that way, it's a sin. There's two occupations that are very, very underpaid, and we can't do without them. One is military, and the other one is law enforcement. I don't know anybody else that is more underpaid than them for the job that they do. So I support it wholeheartedly.
Commissioner Henry is recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. So, our operating millage has always been 10. I mean, we've been trying for years to lower it, but it's there. And this is probably the second or third time I've ever saw how much money those 10 meals bring in a year. 1,588,000.
So
That's a lot. That's a lot. So I have to go back to my own personal, where I am as a resident. Our summer tax came out and it was fairly low compared to what it's been over in the years. But this also came out in my letter, and it says that property owners will see a reduction in their 2023 summer property tax, with 50% of the operating meals shifted to the winter property that passed in November. So in the winter tax, all sorts of assessments are attached to that winter tax. There might be, you got your grass cut, you got a ticket and they cut your grass, or even your water bill could be attached to that winter tax. And so that's something that I've been a homeowner for years in Benton Harbor, and I've never experienced it until they did that special assessment and threw all of that in the winter tax account. I wasn't expecting it, and most people on a fixed income wasn't expecting it either. So what do we have to do to ease that up for the residents that are on fixed income? What do we do to help the residents for these winter taxes, especially if they're being assessed with a special assessment?
There are hardship exceptions for taxes. There also is state funding that are helping residents who are burdened with hardship as it relates to property.
Okay, we won't talk about the nonprofit because we already know.
It's the state of Michigan. They can go online and apply.
Well, when I called the state of Michigan and for every day for the last 3 weeks, they said that Ben Harbor is on the waiting list to get all our work done. So, I don't think that is gonna work with the state of Michigan putting us to next year to get some work done. So I'm asking us as elected officials, what are we gonna do to help our residents during this period of winter tax increase?
We have ARPA dollars that we use for hardships and assistance.
We have already used ARPA dollars.
You asked what, but that's.
No, there's a lot of things. But Mayor, when I ask a question, I'm not asking you because I already know you got all the answers. I'm not asking you because you got all the answers. I'm just asking the question. I want YouTubers to hear me and the people sitting in the audience to hear me. I'm not asking you. Please don't interrupt me. Please.
I am chairing the meeting.
Yeah, but you don't have to interrupt me because I'm just giving my opinion. And you can stop me if I'm not, but that's the only way you can stop me. Okay? So I'm saying that we as elected officials need to look at how we can help the citizens during this period. If you sit there and think it's okay for the tax a senior citizen on a fixed income with water bills, with whatever else the special assessment is, and you don't do anything, we have to do something. We can't just say, well, we can use the ARPA money, or we can do this. We have to collectively put something together to help them. Thank you.
Call for the question.
Commissioner Edwards,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Yeah.
Commissioner Adams,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yeah.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried. Number 6.
Resolution to approve an exception to the city's moratorium on the sale of the city acquired property due to special circumstances. Motion to approve. Motion made by Commissioner Adams,
Support.
supported by Commissioner Singleton. Chair recognizes Commissioner Clark Griffin.
I got a lot of poor ward residents that's been wanting to buy property. And when they say they call down here, a couple of them say they talked to some man, they couldn't remember who the man is or ever got the name. I'm assuming about cleaning, and that's another thing they're going to keep doing. And they say they get told a whole lot they got to do, and they never get to what they need to. Now we're asking to make an exception, and I know if I'm not mistaken, this is the same property Miss Ivy Chandler's been taking care of, that's next to her, and been trying to buy for years. So, if we're gonna make a step, I think we should lift the moratorium for everyone. Because we got, over 400 or is it 800 lots? And I remember City Assessor said that we need to get rid of them. And then now we're finna buying more property that's got approved tonight. So let's make the exception for everyone. Thanks.
Chair recognizes Chair Pro Tem Seats.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. This is fully vetted for my committee. The last gentleman came from a historical house. We had a historical status from the city of Ben Harbor. Not many go from Ben Harbor, come back and invest in restoration or the resurrection of property. As you can see throughout Ben Harbor, you have what's called standard housing, or you have lots on top of lots, on top of lots, on top of lots, without people developing property that's there. One of the old theories is it has a good foundation. It could still be a good house. And if you have people who are willing to come in and invest on a good foundation, and leave that house there. We got a lot of gardens in the community, we got a lot of houses, we got a lot of these family buildings, different communities where they come to something down, about 8 by 12 or 12 by 20. I think they call them sheds or whatever. And people hooking up lights and standing in them and selling fish, chicken, grits out of them, or whatever they're selling. But somebody now has said they want to come and develop this home. And the revision clauses that are part of this, I concur with, I respect it. I think it's been done masterfully. I think that the last gentleman who said he was going to do it had the money to do it. But the problem was, he said every time you put something in there, people was, I don't want to put that out there now. So we try to sell it out. We should. I won't, God. So I do concur that we should allow this to happen. And I do concur with my constituents that if somebody is going to willingly invest,
come with a plan.
and you know, because we got entities that came over there and had a big old billboard of what they were going to do downtown with flower
Point of order.
shops. Oh, no point of order, but yes, I'm trying to go somewhere. I'm going back to see what I'm doing. They come with a big billboard of what they want to do downtown to get the property, but it's never been done. And if we would have had these same reversion clauses in there, we would have that property right now. You got parking lots. People say they were gonna come and build, do all kinds of stuff. Ain't there no more. You know, still the flower shop are supposed to be providing flowers for. I'm sure that never happened. But we gave that property up. So I'm in concurrence with I don't know that man's name, but my mama said don't know their name, don't bet on blame. So I'm in concurrence with you that this property needs to be sold, and if they don't do what they're supposed to do within a year, then we're gonna take the property back, and then, or 2 years, then we're gonna revert the property, and then after that, then we can say, I know I was right, or you was wrong, and all this other kind of stuff. But God is not making no more land that I heard of, and so I would ask the committee to, again,
Call for the voice.
feel free to come to the Plan Economic Development Committee where we don't play all that stuff. You know, come.
What
Call for the
Thank you.
voice.
question has been called for? Chair recognizes.
Thank you, Mayor. I think that's a good time. Anytime that we get new residents that want to be a homeowner, it's a great thing. I personally think preference treatment for our residents is a good idea, but we don't give our residents preference treatment. We want to buy land, we want to do things, but if you, somebody special that's connected to something that's special, then they get special treatment. But the regular citizen get nothing. How many times did somebody knock on that door and ask, can I buy that property? No, we got a moratorium on it. That's the answer. So, to be fair, is there anything fair in government? But to be fair, then we need to open it up and let other people get involved in becoming homeowners. If you give one person preference treatment, you have to give everybody this preference treatment. You just can't do that. It looks slimy when you do that. It looks slimy that you just giving somebody some special treatment. So it was our decision to put a moratorium on it. If you want to take it off, it's fine with me. But to give somebody special treatment, not that he don't deserve it, but special treatment needs to be fair. Thank you.
Okay.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you, Commissioner, and Commissioner, I can agree, this is a question that came up on the committee, I'm a co-chair of the, Planning and Economic Development, Committee, and one of the discussions that we had, I asked Director Little if someone came with a plan for one of the properties that we took out of the tax bracket, could they purchase that property? We said absolutely yes. If they came with a plan, because the hope is we want people to develop, we don't want them to take land and properties and do nothing with them, like the people who lost those particular properties. So any resident in the city of Benton Harbor, let it be known that if you came with a plan and a company that you wanted to do to build property, that can be done. We are not giving preferential treatment to anybody. This young man came with a plan of action that Mr. Little has executed in terms of making people follow what we've set in place. This is something new that we set in place that is working. So the revision clause, this young man didn't do what he said, it came back to the city, and now we have another person who gets an opportunity to repair this property and to bring it back to life. If they do not do so, we'll continue down this process. But please, the deception that people cannot, and they're not giving, that we're giving preferential treatment to certain people, that is a lie.
No.
We are giving people an opportunity with the plan, and I didn't speak when
No, but you ain't calling everybody a liar.
She had the floor.
I had the floor. I didn't call you a liar.
I'm the only one said it. You must be a fool, girl.
I didn't call you a liar.
You said it was a lie.
I said the lies of preferential treatment. So that hasn't been the case. And there is an opportunity that exists. We are a city that needs to continue to build this tax base, to grow the tax base in the city. And how do you do that? You do that through expansion and building those projects. There are opportunities for people to do that. And so in the committee, we did discuss that.
That's a lie.
Thank you.
Point of order, man. Gotta warn them, man.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Clark.
Like I said, that Miss Irie Chandler, who stayed next door to the property, been taking care of that property for years, and she's been coming since I've been in my seat for a year and a half. Probably at least 3-4 times trying to get that same property. And as I stated, a lot of Fort Worth residents wants to buy some. And when they do call and inquire about it, they can't get what they need. So how can they buy it if they're not getting what they need? But yet, some people can get too. And we talking about residents that's been here years and has already acquired and been taken care of. If we're gonna lift it, we need to lift it for everyone. And if I can amend it, I would like to make amendments that this moratorium be lifted for everyone. We need to get rid of property.
So I want to read, maybe the memo will help with the context. Resolution to approve the conditional sale of 717 Colfax Avenue property and improvements as a qualified exception to the city for 21 sales fee on properties to a citizen who is employed in the city of Benton Harbor and wishes to rehab this unit and make it his family home. It is the administration's recommendation that the Benton Harbor City Commission approve this action. The completion of this transaction with its associated conditions achieves the city's goals in acquiring this property, which were to bring the property up to code and improve beyond that to where the property is an asset to the community and contributes to the city's tax base, maintenance, and expansion of its population, and increase the base of suitable housing for the community. This transaction will increase the city's tax base without requiring the investment of city funds to achieve that end. Part of the resolution, it states here, whereas the city of Benton Harbor recently began buying certain properties within houses on them, which of them is located at 717 Colfax Avenue, that appears to be able to be rehabilitated at a reasonable cost, and once again return to our tax base as a useful occupied structure, which helps to address the housing deficiency that is described herein. It goes on to say, purchasers shall live in the property for at least 10 years and not use the property as a rental without an express written agreement with the city. If circumstances change, that becomes the intended use. Should purchaser at any point in the future choose to sell this property, the city shall have the first right to refusal to purchase the property at not more than 15% of the 15% above the total investment in the home. So there's provisions and things in place where this is not
Just a giveaway.
just a giveaway. We did just provide, or in the process of working with a business for a 10-year period to improve property in that way. Here is, and I'm just gonna put it on the floor, this is the superintendent.
I like,
Benton Harbor Area School, who's trying to be a part of the community, right on Colfax, right down the street where he works, want to invest in this city. It's another water customer, another taxpayer, an income taxpayer, and it's another person that's saying they want to be a part of the city of Benton Harbor. I don't see the problem.
Call for the question.
Madam Clerk,
I haven't had a chance to address anything.
by all means.
Thank you. Because frankly, I'm sick of this property. I was playing economic development chair, and I think it was what, 2018, 2019? And we're still working on this property. The property, I tried to get this property myself before I even became a commissioner, because it has such great potential. And whatever we did back then must not have been meant, but maybe this is. So if I had not got a chance to speak to the property owner adjacent to this property, I probably would feel differently, but since she knows who it is and had an opportunity to speak with him, she totally agrees that she thinks that she wouldn't mind at all having such a neighbor. So with that, yeah, you can call the question.
I want to recognize.
There you go.
I'll make it real quick. That's how you create stability. That's all.
But you know what?
Call.
I want to call for the question.
I would like to say this. As he becomes a property owner, when that area floods right there in the street, you know who to call.
Okay.
And I ain't talking about Ghostbusters.
Chair recognizes the city clerk for the roll call.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Yes.
Commissioner Adams,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
With clarity, on tell all the residents the opportunity to be able to do this. No.
Commissioner Edwards,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried. 7.
Is there a motion for the?
Motion to approve.
Motion is made by Commissioner Adams, is supported by Commissioner Edwards. Is there discussion?
What number is that, 14?
This is number 7.
You asked for discussion?
You are recognized, Commissioner Adams.
They gonna fall off. Just for clarity, with the purchase of these properties, are we lifting the moratorium? If someone comes with a plan, they can
Well, the sale of any property takes two.
I mean, I know that we are purchasing these from Barron County. And I'm glad that we get first gives because we have, some construction courses that are about to take place that should be able to help to fix up a lot of these properties and put them back on the tax roll and get some homeowners in them. But I'm also hoping that this is an opportunity to also work with, our new group, the CDC. And I'm hoping that we can do that and put some type of language together to make that happen. Because we're not trying to become landlords. We're government. Right?
Mr. Director Little can speak to.
Consistent with the resolution we passed, I think the first 2 months after when I
Please speak up.
suggested to you that it would be smart for the city to obtain these properties as opposed to what was happening. And what has been happening for the last 40 years is people have been picking up these properties for $50 for a property and whatnot. They're all gonna build houses on them and whatnot. Houses haven't been built. Gardens haven't been done, none of that. And what we're very close to putting together a program that's going to be open to everybody. Where, as a matter of fact, we have 2 professors from University of Michigan that are working with us on this. We're working with MML and MISTA, and we intend to put a package together where we can put out open to anybody that can come up with the equity to work with a bank. They can buy a pattern home, get the incentives that are available from the state, and we'll help them identify a lot they want and make it a part of the package. Now, we may very well lease these 99-year leases in order to retain the city having some hold over these properties, but they will be available on an equal basis to everybody. Now, one other situation similar to what was in that as the mayor said, I had indicated if someone came on the same basis, wanting to do the same thing, that we would make it available to them. Ever since I came back on board, one property I've been targeting to do something positive with for the city is 956 Pavone. You may all recall that probably 10 years ago, there was $156,000 put in that property. It never moved. And that property has been, the windows out, plumbing, everything. But that is still a sound structure in that it has a solid new roof on it. The walls are firm. And I finally got Michigan to tell us that after October, we're free to do whatever we want to do with it. And my thought is to put it out available to anybody that's interested, just like this one, that if they will commit, put the money in it to restore it, live in it, not rent it out or whatever, and it becomes an addition to us, that it should be available. So we can start looking at it now. We're gonna try to clean up around the house, but other than that, they'll have to be putting the windows back in, the garage doors back in, the plumbing and everything. But when they do, it's a good solid house right across the street from the park that was just done. That's the way you rebuild a community, one house and one tenant at a time.
Yeah.
Call for the question.
I heard him say professors, but I didn't hear him say CDC. And that was one of my questions.
He said it'd be open to everybody. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Henry?
I'm sorry, what's the number?
It's
Number 7.
For the purchase of property for Barron County tax sale, city government.
No.
Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Yeah.
Commissioner Adams,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yes.
Commissioner Edwards,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried. 9.
Approval of the receipt and acceptance of a grant from the Funders Network.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem,
Support.
supported by Mr. Anderson. Discussion. Chair recognizes.
Mayor, this has been fully vetted through our committee. We will be absolutely stir crazy not to take a grant from somebody. To correct the problems that are down there, there's more problems than there is anything, not free. We'd rather do on the front end and the back end. We'd rather do compliance than enforcement. This is money that's been given to the city, to redevelop our street. I suggest to everybody that we do take this money and we make the most of what we get. There's more to come.
This is something else.
You know, this is more to come.
This is the
I
Funders
would
Network.
ask you to, support, if you don't want support.
You know the wrong thing.
Number 9, right?
Yes. Number 9.
It's not optional.
I'm sorry, Funders Network, for same thing, it's a grant. Just get the money, get all the money, get all you can, get all you can. Let's move forward, let's go. We're wasting too much time on free money that you don't have. And that's my statement on the next one too, so, thank God, Mayor. I think we need to call for a question.
Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Yes.
Commissioner Adams,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yes.
Commissioner Edwards,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry, Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried. 11.
Is there a motion for the approval?
So
Motion
moved.
to approve.
Motion is made by. Commissioner
Support.
Singleton, supported by Commissioner Adams. Chair recognizes Commissioner Lawrence Adams.
I only had one problem with this, and that's the fact that RFP didn't go out for someone to be the project manager. It seems that someone has already been chosen, or they chose themselves, for the project manager for the Otter Street project. Isn't it a policy and procedure to put out an RFP? To hire a project manager for any endeavor.
This is the approval of the receipt and acceptance of an approximate $350,000.
And the hire of a project manager,
$50,000 sub-grant to hire a project manager.
okay?
Mr. Little has something.
You're correct, Mayor. This is to approval to accept the grant. The position will be advertised, and we will need to find an individual with the qualifications and requirements that are necessary to be able to do the job.
Thank
They
you.
will have experience and understanding environmental issues, construction, the whole 9 yards.
Thank you. Now, did you all see what was in your packet? Did you look at the whole packet? There was an agreement in there.
There's
This
no
hasn't been
agreement
signed.
for it.
I mean, it just hasn't been signed. But for me to approve this, I want to hold Mr. Little to what he just stated. That the RFP will go out and allow someone to bid on this project.
The agreement you're referring to is the agreement for us to receive.
Okay, okay.
But there is actually a job description that's already written up by the sheriff.
Okay.
Because we're sharing.
I just want to know that we're being fair.
Yeah, the first step is to accept the money, because without accepting the money, the position is moved. So we have to, that's the first step again.
Call for the question.
We've accepted the money already.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Yeah.
Commissioner Adams,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yes.
Commissioner Edwards,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried. 14.
Is there a motion for the appointment to Dollaride Board of Gerald Jackson?
So moved.
motion made by Commissioner Singleton, support is supported by Commissioner Edwards. There's discussion. Chair recognizes Commissioner Clark.
So, Ms. Apple Williams had a put-in resignation, and it wasn't supposed to be till August. And then she rescinded, but yeah, they was all voted to go ahead and resign her in July. And for example, her rights was violated, and for as I'm concerned, she should still be in this position. That's all.
Call for the question.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
You just assume nobody.
Let's just stop debate or what?
It's for the question on the resolution. The point.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
Commissioner Adams,
No.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
No.
Commissioner Edwards,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
No.
Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried. 16.
Appointment to the Public Safety and Parks Committee and Rec Committee, Deidre Fields. The motion for the approval. Motion is made by Commissioner Henderson and is supported by Commissioner Edwards. Is there discussion? Chair recognizes Commissioner Clark.
Mr. Shaquille Turner put in for this position about 4 different times. And the last time was about 2 weeks ago. Mr. Turner has experience, he's been a police officer, he has other experience, he knows the law. And the last reason, the other reason, I don't think times he was even given a reason. But the last time they said because he's running for office. Now, he put in prior years before he was even running for office. And there's some people that holds positions on committee and boards that's running for office now. So, just because, the mayor don't like someone, he don't pass them to us. And it's been other people that put in for this position that was well qualified. So that's all I got to say.
Just for the record, I think that Mr. Turner is a fine young man, and he's doing great work in the community. So I have no issues with Mr. Turner. It's just for the record. While a person is running for the city council seat, there are citizen rep positions that are disappointing. So if somebody is running for office and is appointed at the same time as a citizen rep, and then they win, and now we have to move that person because they are no longer a citizen, they are actually now a city council. So to prevent redundant back and forth,
That's the point.
now if they're not running, they do not prevail, and they still desire to serve, and that our opening is there, then by all means, names goes forward. So, because we did have a case where a council person was on the library board as a citizen rep, won, and had to be removed. Because there's only one commissioner that can serve on certain boards. So if you win as a council person, then there's a clause there that could remove that. So that's the reason why. The chair recognizes.
Okay, we're not talking about the point, we're talking about the process. Yeah, there's a drawer in the city clerk's office where all of these applications come. And the mayor makes the decision that they come to us as a body. And he uses his personal understanding that like he have a problem with somebody, don't bring them forward to us. And that's something that we need to fix. And if you think it's something that's funny, in 2000, the commission, and most of y'all, none of y'all was on it in two, well, some of us, tried to fix it because the mayor was using his power to not be fair. gonna use that word a lot this year about being fair. So he used his power by not being fair, but now letting every resident have an opportunity to sit on a
It
board.
doesn't matter.
Thank you.
Just for the record, I was not the mayor in 2000.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
Should recognize.
But you're still doing it now.
I want to go back to the agenda. So working with, Deidre Fields, he has been a Deidre Fields. Okay. Working with her, with certain projects in the park, has been a big relief. Even though she's a female, she has been doing things as some of the males have been trying to get to do what they want. But she's very dependable, steady, reminds me of me, always got something in her mind to do, to elevate anything and to bring a positive note, not only in the parks, but everybody I've seen her talk to. She's trying to get something positive. I support the nomination.
It's in chorus of hands, so I don't want to shall recognize as Park Director, Public Safety Director, or not Director. Chair.
Elevated. But, yeah, well, as a chair of that committee, we have, struggled with the, citizen reps. We have some that went on to do other things and stuff. So, but we still been holding it down, people coming in, helping out and stuff. So, Miss Deidre Fields, she's a very energetic, young lady, seems to have that spirit of, helping folks and, and don't mind rolling the sleeve up and getting busy. So I can definitely support her. I think she'll be a great asset to the committee. So I can support her appointment.
Mayor,
Chair recognizes Commissioner Adams.
thank you, Honorable Mayor. And I really hate that this is who it is for this position, Miss Deidre Fields. One of the biggest young ladies I know doing some positive things at Benton Harbor. I really hate that this discussion is long and drawn out just because it's this board and the differentiation in which things have been happening with others that have been trying to get on this board. And I just need Deidre to hear that it's nothing personal, but I do support her.
Chair recognizes Ms. Tim Seeds.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I would just say this, as a commissioner and as watching this process work many times, I don't want no misinformation. We're hand-picking candidates and all this other kind of stuff.
It's true.
Because
What the mayor does.
I don't make that to warn them and get them out of here. If they keep interrupting, you can't have that down there, man.
Y'all, can you interrupt
You
me
got to
all
warn
the
them,
time? Get you out
otherwise.
here then.
Gotta warn them and get them out.
Don't start warning you.
All right. What I'm saying is we have to not put that out there. Mr. Jackson, we voted him in there and, I mean, like or not, people ain't banging down the door to serve on these committees. And I was there when Shaquille was born. Shaquille's a great guy, and I don't want him ever to think that somebody down here is not with him or will support him. I love his energy. I wish we had younger men down here like that all over the place. So don't leave here with that kind of bad vibe. That's an insane stuff that you hear on podcasts and all this other. Follow that journey. Because this is crazy to say that somebody want to try to hamstring, somebody want to do good by the city.
It's Send them a
Point
letter.
of order, please.
Oh man, if you don't want them, get them out of here. You gonna have
Come
them
on.
every week.
Put your line.
I support whoever it is. I don't know who the young lady
Call
is.
for the question.
My name, or hopefully I'll meet her soon. If I do know her, try it to my head, not my heart, you know. But there's other boards that we need to get rid of people that we keep on voting on us. Who shouldn't be on there, who've been on there too long.
Say
So,
that again.
we need to vote them off of there. Cause you wouldn't want to let no mean you win too. Thank you, Mayor. I do support it.
So I believe the seat that she would be occupying was by Commissioner Chokwe Pittsburgh,
Mhm.
Mhm.
who served faithfully until he became a county commissioner.
Mhm.
And then he had to resign, correct?
Yep.
So in this particular case, Ms. Fields is a resident, citizen, not running for public office, only seeking to be a member on this committee, which she qualifies for. I'm happy to see new people. I've been here since 2010. And for years, you know, we recycled and appointed the same people, different boards, and you know, that new blood, which is needed. I'm happy to see Ms. Fields stepping forward to serve her community. It's not paid, it's volunteer. Call for the question.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
With clarity, Mr. Shaquille Turner has been treated unfairly even before he was running for office. And he should have been on that board a long time ago, along with some other ones on other boards. So, no.
Commissioner Edwards?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry?
Yes.
Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem
Yes.
Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion carried. 18.
Resolution to approve the ratification of a tentative agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police, AKA FOP.
Reading.
Call for the question.
So move on there.
Motion made by Commissioner Singleton, supported by Commissioner Edwards.
Call for the question.
Question being called for.
No, we ain't finna call them a question. We need to, the residents need to hear it too.
Read it.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
No, I'll let you. You do it so well.
Thank you. But I defer.
No,
To the person that's
I'm gonna let
requested.
you.
The question has been
If I
called
had,
for,
if I
Madam
had,
Clerk.
if I had separated this item, I'd be more than happy to.
The question has been called for unless the
We
said
got questions on the
commissioner
other end as
wants to
well.
read it. Chair recognizes Commissioner Henry.
You're not gonna read it, man.
I'm not gonna read it.
Okay. Well, it did come to committee, and it did get vetted. Most of the stuff that come to committee don't get vetted, but this one did. And so, we support our Ben Harbor Public Safety. And you know, any way that we can, we know that they're getting good, big support from the general fund. We like it. So,
Closed
thank
session.
I just,
Question has been called.
The question has been called. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Edwards?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Abstain.
Commissioner Henry?
yes.
Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats?
Yes.
Commissioner Adams? Commissioner Clark Griffin?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to last but not least, staff communication.
The appointment that was added to suspend the rules.
Pardon me, I beg your pardon. There was a motion to suspend the rules, and Ivy Chandler was on the legislative committee for appointment and was unable due to a scheduling conflict to come to the legislative committee meeting, and and by technicality, her name was not
Make a
forwarded.
motion that we appoint her to the legislative committee.
The motion is made and is supported by Commissioner Henderson, the legislative chairperson. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Yes.
Commissioner Adams,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yes.
Commissioner Edwards,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Well, this brings us to last but not least, staff communication, take two, Director, Deputy Director of Public Safety.
Thank you, sir. I'll keep it short and simple. Thank you for approving the contract. Public safety officers. You have it.
Thank you. Chair recognizes you, sir. Chair recognizes Lee, Development Director. Chair recognizes our newly appointed, please take your seat,
Oh.
interim attorney.
I'm not charging you for tonight. This is me getting to know you. Real honor. You're doing a great job. The city of Benton Harbor has wonderful days ahead. I'm really honored to be your interim attorney. You do need to go out for an RFP. I think that's really important. I'll help you with that process and I'll get you through and get you transitioned when you hire full-time counsel. So I look forward to working with you all in the meantime.
Thank you. Chair recognizes us, City Clerk Moore.
Tomorrow is election day. Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. If you are voting in your precinct and you are in Ward 1 or 3, you'll be voting at the Benton Harbor High School, room 106. If you are in Ward 2 or 4, you will be voting at the public library. Correct. AV ballots, 467 were issued for this election. As of 4 p.m. today, 72.59% of those have been returned. There are still 128 outstanding. Those can be returned by 8 p.m. tomorrow. If you have not been issued an AV ballot, you have to vote in your precinct. You cannot be issued one from here on out. You have to vote in the precinct tomorrow. If you still have your AV ballot, it can be dropped off by 8 p.m. tomorrow.
Can the drop box be used?
Yes, and put it in the drop box that says ballot drop box.
Not in.
Not in the mailbox.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Chair recognizes our city manager.
It's your ballot in there, not nobody else.
Good evening, everyone. I usually don't have too much to say, but I saw something last week that I just got to speak on. How many of you did night out at the park? Well, I sat here in my office and I watched, and I saw people who some people say would not come downtown in groves. Happy, laughing, talking, smiling, and most of all, they brought their kids. And they were having fun. They were enjoying their time. Proud of them. There's another thing I need to talk to you about too. I grew up in the South. I know you can't tell about my voice. I was 11 years old when Emmett Till was killed. Wow. It scarred me for life. I want you all to take this paper and go to the section in Till and read it. And you need to have your kids read it so that you can know from which they came and what the hell we went through when we were old enough.
And that is the Benton Spirit newspaper. Chair recognizes our fourth ward commissioner, Commissioner Clark.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight And there's a lot of wrongdoing and wrong things going on, a lot of dirty politics. So I want you guys to, make sure that you get out the vote tomorrow. We deserve better, Ben Harbor deserve better. Have a good night.
Chair recognizes third ward Commissioner Henry.
I just want to thank the citizens for coming out, anyone to sit here and listen to us. I'm thankful. That's it. Come back next week. 2 weeks.
Chair recognizes second ward Commissioner Edwards.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Good evening to everyone here. Thank you all for coming out. Number one, I really enjoyed the kids this summer, both groups, Youth Works, and of course, the Ben Harbor Youth. Kind of related to what Mr. Mitchell was saying. I don't know how many of you really paid attention to what they do, but if you go across the street, and if you go to the river, you'll see where we had kids edging. Go look at City Center Park. It was edged by kids. Grass, trees were trimmed by kids. The marsh was put down by kids. The flowers were weeded by kids. And they wanted to keep doing it and keep doing it. I sent them to the river and I said, well, you know that river, that's a whole lot to be edging out there. And they said, give us the edge. Gave them the edge, you go out there and look. No, it's not a perfect line. I was born in the country, so when I had to feed chickens, it wasn't the first chicken wasn't fed right. There's a lot of things we done, wasn't done right when we was a kid. We learned. You got on a bike, you ran into a tree, bus, car, you got back up, tried it again. Now you're riding the bike. Stay off of my kids. If you're not going to help them, don't come to me with it. Please don't do that. They're doing something that we don't do. Pick up trash. I had people come to me telling me that they need to pick that trash up. They put it down there. The kids came National Night Out. Before then, you don't see no kids over there with liquor bottles. We talking about grown folks, my age and 21 and up. We should be the one over there picking up them bottles. We should be the ones picking up trash. You go down to the river, Yarborough Park, you don't see no kids down there. That's grown folks. You go to Hall Park, when it was gone, you ain't see no kids down there. That's grown folks. You want to go to some other parks? There weren't kids then doing cartwheels in the grass. There was a man pulled his car out in Hall Park on the baseball field, maybe a couple of days after the rain got his car stuck in there to pull it. These are grown folks. Leave my kids alone. Youth Works and the Ben Harbor kids work together. Not one fight, not one person was called out of their name, not one person was trying to be persuaded to do something wrong. They work together. They work together. One thing, I talked to a kid yesterday, well, not a kid, he's grown. We had a conversation, and it always comes up. Where is the commissioners when we have these types of events? And I tell them, I don't know. I don't know if they're working. I don't know what they're doing. Your guess is good as mine. So I'm going to say this. If we want somebody to turn around, if we want somebody to do better, if we want these kids, as we say, give them something to do, first of all, you got to be out there to talk to them and find out what they want to do. Second, a lot of these kids ain't looking for nothing to do. They're looking for something to receive, attention and some love and some understanding. Trust me, I know that.
Thank you, Commissioner Edwards. Chair recognizes First Ward Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I've encouraged you, in terms of kids, it's been my profession for the last 30 or so years, working in schools and just working with kids. That's true, they usually look at kind of love and affection, and some of them, so 100% agree. But I just like to thank everyone who came out tonight, gave comments, words of encouragement, words of improvement that needed to occur in the city, for all of the presentations that were made. Tonight we got an opportunity to take care of a lot of business on behalf of the city, the millage that needed to be passed, and all the other things that was taken care of on the agenda. I just would like to also thank our city staff for all the incredible work that they do behind the scenes to get a lot of the stuff on the agendas and at the committees so that they can be discussed and that we can make intelligent decisions about the things that we need to vote on that affect each person in this community. And again, it's just such an honor to be able to serve in such a great city with diversified minds, opinions, religions, beliefs. And it's difficult to dislike people you don't know. It's hard to dislike people you don't know because you haven't spent time with people who really don't know them. So it's really difficult to dislike someone that you don't know. And so a lot of assumptions we made about people disliking based off of something that you might not like the way people operate, but just dislike you because of you being who you are is really difficult. It's just, the modes of operation. And you really don't know someone if you haven't spent time with them, sat down and had dinner with them. So again, I'd like to thank this commission and this community for all of the things that we do together and apart, because at the end of the day, we have to depend on each other, and we are going to be the reasons why this city grows or decreases, and the reason why businesses want to come here or not, based on what they see and how we interact with each other. Because if I came in here tonight as a new business looking to start something in this community, I may have had some concerns about how we interact with each other. We're passionate about what we think, but there's also a way to do that without it looking and feeling like animus and hate based off a different kind of way of thinking or doing something based off of how we were raised, what things we learned, and all of who we are. And so again, thank you all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Chair recognizes Commissioner at Large Adams.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, and I want to thank the residents that are still here with us for coming out to see how your local government works or not, because sometimes it does and sometimes we know it just don't. My mind is stuck on one thing, but I'm gonna come back to it. Addressing the cemetery. There are water spigots out there, and water used to work. And some people want to water their flowers, and I wonder if we can look into that to see if the infrastructure of the water, where people want to water their flowers, because people be out there and they be unloading water out of their vehicles and stuff. But and they're all over the place. So they used to work. So if we could look at that in the future, thinking about the Renaissance Center out there, and I heard you, Honorable Mayor, thank the Todmans, was it? And I know that Ms. Todman is heavily involved with Center for Better Health. So I'm sure that both of those things together in the near future, we can do something to ensure that Benton Harbor residents are served at the Renaissance, as well as, somehow making it work. I'm still stuck on the fact that we have some funds left from the 40-something million that we got for our lead lines, that we can hopefully start working on getting our water customers back at Kojic, our airport, and work on actually Novo as well, because it used to be hooked up to Benton Harbor. They're using a lot of water out there. We need those resources to keep that plant out there operating. And if we can do something with the state of Michigan to possibly get some of those those marijuana tax dollars to help with that endeavor would be wonderful. But moving on from there, I was listening to my colleague down there of the second ward. You know, I gave up a long time ago, well, not too long ago. But when I started doing hair, the first order of business was everybody ain't gonna like everybody. Everybody ain't gonna like every hairdo. I'm a people person. I had 6 children, a lot of nieces and nephews. I love children. My house was the spot, but I had to know where my children were. And what happened to them when they got older, don't ask. I will not spend another day of my life trying to be everything to everybody or trying to be everywhere somebody else wants me to be. So don't look for me. Just know I'm taking care of business wherever I am. And with that, I'm gonna leave it right there.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Nice.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I'd like to thank everybody for attending tonight. All the appointments, Ms. Fields to the Library Board, Public Safety, Gerald Jackson, Dollaride Board, and Ms. Chandler to the Brownfield Board. Thank you for volunteering. Want to serve. And new attorney, interim attorney Seneca?
Yes.
Seneca, Sarah Seneca. Welcome aboard. I want to thank Mr. Rappers. He go around the city and cleans the city. And we need more garbage cans throughout the city. You know, we have a social problem with putting paper in the garbage can, so we can have more trash cans or something, maybe with a basketball shaped rim on it or something, and people can just like, you know, give them incentives to put trash in the garbage can, you know, and that's real, you know, just throw it in the garbage can, you know, bam, keep on walking, but at least it's go in the garbage can, you know, But yeah, so I just want to thank him for going around and keeping me updated on what's happening in the city. You know, we passed the trial period for the master plan tonight, so that was passed. Thank the Buck Rights for their continuing effort, working on the cemeteries and keeping us updated and just bombarding us with information. You know, with a smile though, you know, with a smile, you know, but it's all good though. It's happening in the cemetery now. I know they're doing the roads, and Mr. Campbell continuing to improve. So more to come, you know. Like I said, expect great things to happen in this city. You know, expect great things. We had the River Fest the other night. It was great. You know, it rained the second night. But, you know, you get the umbrella. A little rain won't hurt you, you know. But they still had a good time, you know. Get your little cocktail or something and warm, keep you right. You know, you have a good time. You know, that's what it's all about. Some chicken wings, barbecue, music, you know. And that's what Ben Harbor had a good time, you know. So my wife went to the work and twerking out work sessions. She came back and had a good time working out. That's what it's all about. Have a good time. You know, she had a good time. I'm happy. Yeah, and went there. I didn't make it to gospel night. Thank you, praise, forgive me, Lord. I didn't forget about you, but I'm sure they did a great job though. But I just want to thank everybody. Get out and vote tomorrow. You know, it's that time. Get out and vote. You know, vote your conscience. You know, it's the time. You know, you can see how the city then progressed. So just continue to expect great things. God bless you. God bless Ben Harbor. More to come.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Atlas.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Just like to thank everybody for coming out to and the new appointees. Ms. Fields got a meeting Wednesday. Okay. Talking about rolling up your sleeves. Okay. Madam Attorney, welcome aboard. Mr. Butts, he's gone now, but it's just good to see folks who make their money in the community want to live in the community. We used to, when I was in the police department, that was bragging rights when you lived in the city. No offense to you, Clark. But it was bragging rights when you lived in the city. And so, deputy director for the fire department, he lived across the street, so he was all right with me. He got bragging rights. But it's good to see people interested in wanting to move in the city. If we're going to stabilize our city and grow, I heard from different commissioners and through some of the vetting and discussions, I won't say arguments, but discussions that we need more money, more tax dollars and stuff like that. We talked about trying to lower the meals. I think I heard somebody mention that, but how you do that, you got to get more folks here. So the master plan, you guys doing an excellent job. You process. I know it's been long and tiresome, but you guys hung in there, and it's almost to a point. The public involvement, commission involvement, I wasn't at all of them, quite a few of them, but I have kept my ear to the ground and been listening and listening to what other folks saying, because really it's about the input from everybody. I could come and say what I want, but it might be somebody else might want something else. But at the end of the day, everybody agreed to the plan, and let's work on that. Talking about doubling the size of the city and what 2040. So Ben Harbor's coming back. It's coming back. I don't know how I'll be in 2040. It'll probably be close to Mr. Mrs. age. But it's coming back, and it's a lot of the work that we do. It's strangers. It's you get I'll say targeted. You get some name calling. You get some friends. You lose some friends. But in the end, I think everybody have a heart for this city, else they wouldn't be here. So let's just keep up the good work. Get out, vote tomorrow. I think I heard somebody say vote your conscience. You also need to vote your survival and your future. So see everybody out at the polls tomorrow.
Chair recognizes Mayor Pro Tem Seats.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I appreciate this long meeting, right? Very, very long. And it's long, but we only got 12 minutes, so we have to get out of this building.
Won't preach it.
We're going business. Thank you, Ron. Vote for law and service. I appreciate this board, even though sometimes we don't agree on everything. I think we do agree on some things. And City of Ben Harbor is looking better than ever has before.
Sure.
But we do need to make sure that things have been done right and for the people, by the people. And I concur that these people are going to do a good job on the boards. I must say that there's something going on in the atmosphere that is happening, that is being shown across America. That if you don't treat somebody right, then they're gonna shut you down. There's times of us having chattel slavery is over. There's time of nepotism and optimism and people being able to call you whatever they want to call you is over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's need necessity to shut people down. You do that in South Africa, you call somebody out their name and disrespect a woman, they shut you down. The way to shut you down is not just by quiet taste, but by what's in your pocket. The reason why Martin Luther King was killed, now I know everybody, you know, when he started asking Jesse, he said, Jesse, what we gonna do?
Wonder Bread.
What's that one bread company? He said, Wonder Bread. He said, we're gonna stop supporting them. And Montgomery, but the boycott, when they started walking instead of riding the bus, they had an issue with that. But see, if we don't stand for something, we'll fall for anything. That's the reason why people don't respect us. It's because they feel that we're gonna be more the consumer than the producer. If you say one day don't support a person, somebody gonna find a reason personally not to support them, to support them, just out of spite, but your day is coming. So when somebody disrespects a minority female or female or whoever, or minority male or whatever, or use whatever kind of slur you want to use, I am going to do my best to shut you down. It is a hate crime. It is bullying. If they do it to your kid at school, you stop them. If they call your kid out of their name, you stop them. Kids do not deserve to be called out of their name. I've lived too many years not to be called. I don't even want you to call me Mayor Pro Tem. You ain't got to call me doctor. You ain't got to call me pastor. You ain't got to call me brother. You ain't got to call me nothing, but call me at least by my first name. If you don't want to call me my first name, at least call me by my last name. But please, don't think you're ever comfortable enough to call me out my name. I won't call you out your name. Let's do the same. And I'm grateful to be on this committee, but I'm telling you, we have to stop this kind of behavior in order to be respected. And last week, there were golfers here all over town paying $150 for a hotel room, and you couldn't find a hotel room in the city for residents for over $500. There's a problem. Nobody gave up property but the city of Ben Harbor. And you had to pay $500 for a hotel room. There's a problem. Ben Harbor has 0 hotels, but the one you do have that they say you have because of tax break, taxation, and representation, they say you have full access and full use, and they would tell you in Benton Harbor that you have no special recommendations or rates for the residents of Benton Harbor, even if they have a tax, even if they have a pipe break, house fire, anything. That's our responsibility. I don't touch the money y'all because some of y'all have special privileges. But when it affects you, then it becomes a problem. And a lot of people are getting discounts on the backs of Ben Harbor. So I'm done with that, Honorable Mayor. I do appreciate your leadership. I want to appreciate the leadership of Sharon Henderson, Commissioner Henderson. Appreciate the leadership of everybody with the festival that went on this weekend. It was good to see Ben Harbor down there. But, you know, somehow Ben Harbor had to come together. You talking about you represent Ben Harbor in any shape, form, or fashion, your behind should have been down there. Thank you, Honorable Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Seats. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. I'd like to acknowledge the appointees tonight. Ben Harbor politics is a context for it. So be ready at your next committee meeting. But no, it's great to serve. And it comes with a price. Jesus said that, with which of my good works do you stone? So when you start doing good, you will be pelted with stone. That's a part of the job description. Unfortunately, or fortunately, because every knot is a booze. In fact, it was a donkey, and I'm gonna close on this point, that they threw in a ditch, and they started hitting them with stones. And they threw so many stones, they said that the donkey walked out of the ditch. So, I don't know how deep the ditch I'm in. This room was packed when I was for the swearing in 2016. At the time, Mayor Hightower, he shook his head at the end when I put my hand down and took the oath. He said, "Hosanna, Hosanna." I wondered, why would he say that? He said, because the same people that said they supported you, said they voted for you, said they with you, will be the same people that saying crucify you. So I got the stripes. Some I worked with them over the years. I've been called the Sambo of the Year.
Number two.
Sellout, a murderer, a killer.
Consider the source.
I should be found in the alley, face down. All these
What he
different
said?
things.
Yeah, that dummy said that.
Father of 7. Married, I've been married to the same woman for 23 years.
What's up?
No campaign for me, I'm just telling you the facts. When everybody else spoke, I didn't say anything. So,
You interrupted everybody.
for the record, I want to thank the residents of Ben Harbor for serving your own community. I want to thank the business people that stepped up and invested. Thank those that served on committees. We got a lot of work to do. Angela Wimbush, she tweeted out, she said, "Happy Sunday, angels. Thank you, Ben Harbor, for staying lit in the rain and showers of love. You are the best."
Oh, wow.
So I want to close on that point. Have a wonderful evening. You are the best, Ben Harbor.
Motion adjourned.
Motion is made to adjourn.
What? This is me.
What about Mayor Pro Tem? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
Yes.
Commissioner Edwards?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry? Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats?
Yeah.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion carried.
That little hat is in town, yeah.
The mics work.
Hey, y'all.
I thought I seen that camera move. They do work.